Hello, hello, hello. We on? Are we on? Let's see. All right. Hold on a second. All right. Are we on here? Let's get that off. What is this? Okay. Huh. Hi, guys. Are we on live? Are we on live? Are we on live? I'm not getting a picture here. Let's see. I'm not getting a picture on the screen. All right, Tico, not getting a picture on the screen. How is everybody out there today? I'm not sure if we are live. We are live. Okay, I can't actually see anything on the screen, though. I'm not sure why the screen is blank. How you guys doing? All right. Hi, Nance. Thanks for jumping on. For some reason, I'm not seeing myself. I don't know. Are you guys seeing me? I'm not seeing myself. Let's see what I'm doing wrong here. Okay. What I'm doing wrong here, too. I'm not seeing me on the screen today. How are you guys? Let's see. Let's get IG on board. So you guys see me? I don't see me. Okay. We can see you. All right. I don't know why my screen is blank. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna talk and not see me today. Hi, Nance. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, you guys. Hey, IG. How you guys are doing? All right. Well, I'm not going to see myself today. I guess I will just have to talk to you guys. We're going to talk about the Biden Student Loan Relief Program today. And I know this is a hot topic. I'm getting so many calls about it. Everybody's interested in finding out what this is all about. I mean, seriously, there's so many student loans that are out there. There's millions and millions and millions of students that have these loans. And so everybody is very interested in what the process is for this stuff. And of course, there's a lot of talks about it. There's a lot of changes that the Democrats is trying to propose. So today, let's see here. I don't know why the screen keeps going off. Okay, so let's see. I don't know. So anyway, so there's a lot of talks out there. So I want to talk about 3 different points, actually 4. One of them is going to be about the student loan repayment plan. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the student loan forgiveness plan, which is awesome. And then we're going to talk about the student loan cancellation. And the cancellation is, really a hot item. Of course, all of it is. And then after that, we will just talk about the tax deduction, right? Because everything, of course, have to wind up where there's a tax effect, there's a tax deduction. And we want to talk about what that is, okay? So today we want to talk about the student loan relief. Now, the student loan have been paid, the payment have been frozen, right? The administration have froze the payment, so no one had to pay any student loan interest back. And they didn't have to do any of that. And it's going to expire in October, right? So what President Biden did, he have extended the freeze on student loans so you don't have to make any payments. And he have extended it for another 4 months, at least to January the 30th of 2022. Okay, so for those people who have student loans out there, you don't have to make any payments to after January 30th, 2022. So the freeze have been extended. And so we really don't have to worry too much about that. Of course, that helps a lot of students because people are still trying to get back on their feet. And one of the things that does not necessarily have to be a burden, the government is trying to make sure that you're okay with not having to be pressured to try to pay your student loan. Okay, so that's good news. And so the points that we want to make here today is we want to talk about the repayment plan, which is the first point today, guys. We want to talk about the student loan repayment plan, right? So there has been there's like 5 proposed changes that the Democrats is proposing to the Department of Education and to Congress so that they can pass these rules. And now student loan, of course, as you guys know, most people have them. It's been such a burden to a whole lot of people, a lot of students. And so, hey, Dignax, thanks for jumping on here. I don't know why the screen keeps going off today. Hey, Margie, thank you for jumping on. Thanks, Elaine, for such great information. Thank you. Okay, so for some reason the screen keeps going off. But So the number one is the student loan repayment plan. So what they are proposing in this repayment plan, they're trying to make it so that it's income driven as it is right now. So it depends on how much money you make. They determine how much you are able to pay, right? And they have it in such a complex and complicated matter that what they're proposing is the administration is proposing that they simplify this process. They simplify the income-driven repayment plan so that it's not so complicated for the students to pay. And that's one of the points they're proposing. The next one is there's got the payment, and look, this stuff is really awesome, guys. The payment cannot be more than 10%, right? It cannot be more than 10% of your discretionary income. So, they can't ask you to pay any more than you really making or a whole lot more money than you can afford to pay. That's one of the proposal. The other proposal is they're trying to make sure that you pay all of your living expenses first before you have to pay the student loan back. Okay, so if after your living expenses there's not enough money to pay your student loan, guys, and they have to, deal with that. However, they want to make sure that you can pay your living expenses before your student loan payment. Again, 10% of your discretionary income, and they want to have it to pay no more than 20 years, right? No more than 20 years on the student loan, because some of us, or some of the folks that's been to school earlier, people have been paying on those loans forever. So it's like no more than 20 years on the student loan. And then the interest accumulation, they want to make sure that those are deferred. And then the existing borrowers, right? They want to make sure that all the existing borrowers automatically is transferred into the single income process payment plan. Because I'm telling you, right now it's structured so complicated that even the organization, the Department of Education is stating that it's very complex, and a lot of students does not understand the process and how much they need to pay. Okay, so those are some really new stuff that they're proposing, making it, simplifying it, and making sure that you can at least pay your operating living expenses first before you have to pay it back, and they can't give you a payment that's any more than 10% of your disposable earnings, which is really cool. And then no more than 20 years in payment in repaying this back. Okay, so that's the first point today, guys, the student loan repayment. Okay, so that's the number one point today. Again, Elaine Proby here, CEO PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. Hi, Close for Pop. Thanks for jumping on here. All right, DeAndre, thanks for jumping in. So we're talking about the Biden student loan relief. And so that's the first point today, guys. Second point is the student loan forgiveness. Okay, so again, we want to, it's great if this stuff can be forgiven, right? So the government they are proposing, the administration proposing that if you have any type of economic hardship, right? Then that's a factor that they have to defer the stuff if you have any economic hardship. And of course, if your employment, right? So if you have employment and you're not employed full time, because of course, again, it all depends on how much money you make as to how you can pay this money back. So if you are not employed full time, right, they need to defer your payments. And so the forgiveness plan, what they have is they have a plan where the government will have you streamline the loan cancellation, and I will tell you guys about that in my third point, and I will let you guys know how to apply for that in the third point. Okay, so there's economic hardship as far as forgiveness is concerned. There's the employment verification as far as forgiveness is concerned, and so they want to also take any payments that you have made before, all your advance payments that you have made, and they also want the department to use, like if you had payments that were deferred, they want to use that process, that the time frame that you had those payments deferred, they want to use it as a part of your payment process. So in other words, they have like 100, I think you have to make like 120 payments or something like that. So what they want to do is if you have it deferred, they want them to use all those months to count them towards your student loan forgiveness plan. So this is the proposal that the Democrat is proposing to the Department of Education. And if Congress passes this, then all the stuff will be in effect, guys. So this is great news for all people with student loan. So there's a forgiveness program that they're working on. And then on my number 3 point today, this is great, the loan cancellation. So Point number 3, guys, loan cancellation. And what happened here is they have established what is called the borrower defense plan, right? So anybody who have had a loan through a predatory lender, right? One of these schools that went out of business, you've been a victim of these unlawful organization or schools or any of this stuff, and it doesn't have to be a federal school student loan, right? So if you have been defrauded, you've been a victim of fraud from any one of these schools that went out of business, there's been all these unlawful behavior. If you have been a victim of any one of these, you can apply for a loan cancellation, guys. So there is a physical application for the loan cancellation that you can apply for, and it's under the established borrower defense rule. You can apply and you can get this loan canceled. So again, if you have been to any one of those predatory schools where they gave you the loan, they closed down, they no longer was there for you to actually complete the process, but you're stuck with this loan. So that's one of those predatory schools. That's what it's called. And so they are trying to make it to a point where you don't even have to submit an application for it to be forgiven. However, there is an application. So, but one of the rules, they wanted to try to make it so simplified that you don't even have to submit an application. If the school is considered one of those predatory schools and you are a victim, they want to be able for you to have an automatic cancellation of that student loan. And that is perfect, right? Automatic cancellation, guys. So what it is you have to go to the website. Let's see which one, studentaid.gov. A studentaid.gov website. You can go there and there is the application. It's the U.S. Department of Education Borrower Defense Repayment Application. Okay. Again, the U.S. Department of Education Borrower Defense Application. If you have been to any one of these, a victim of any one of these predatory schools, guys, you can go to the website, studentaid.gov, and fill this application out. It's about 24 pages long, but of course, it's just everything to do with you, everything about the school. You fill this application out and you send it in order to try to get your student loan canceled, all right? So this application is on the website now. So you want to be able to go in there and try to fill that out and get it canceled. Now, everybody is not going to be qualified for it, but of course you want to get the application in to make sure that your application is in your school. All that information about the school you got to have before you apply. Okay, so that is part of the student loan cancellation. That's my third point today, guys. Very important stuff. Everybody's burdened by student loans, so we want to make sure that we at least try to take advantage of this stuff here. Margie Smith said, I had some of my student loan forgiven through a program for teachers. That's beautiful. Okay, that is wonderful, Margie. Thanks for that information. Great. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for jumping on. So that's beautiful, guys. So there's another process there through the teachers program that Margie had some of her student loans forgiven, and that's wonderful. Wonderful news. So you guys look into that if you could fall into that category. Awesome. Loan balance over $10,000. Okay. I love it. I love it. All right. So the fourth point today, guys, tax deduction. Of course, we always have to wind up with the tax effect of all the stuff that we talk about for the most part. And then of course your student loan interest deduction, you get a deduction in your taxes for all the student loan that you pay the interest. And you can get up to $2,500 of credit from the student loan tax deduction. Of course, like anything else, there's a phase out. If you make more than $80,000 as a single person, that amount phases out. And if you're married for filing joint, it's $168,000. It will phase out. However, you can still take the tax deduction. Of course, for most people who are under those income bracket, you can take a student loan interest tax deduction on your tax return. Okay, and it can be up to $2,500 in credit. So that is still excellent too. I mean, so all in all, everything that you pay, this doesn't go out the window. There's some credit there. It's some deduction that you can take on the student loan interest. Okay, so that's the fourth point today, guys. Again, we're talking about the Biden student loan relief. And so I want to recap the 4 items that we discussed today. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing this information. You guys, And so again, let me recap everything today, guys. Biden student loan relief. The reason why I'm discussing this today is because I've gotten so many phone calls on this. I've been getting phone calls since last year on the student loan cancellation or the forgiveness program. So again, like I said, there's so many, billions of students out there that has student loan debts, and a lot of the stuff that has to do with not only federal student loans, but student loan from any other colleges, right? So let's recap. Let's 4 points today that I've made. The first one is there's the student loan repayment program that you wanted to look into. They are proposing to make sure that you are not burdened by you're already burdened by paying this back, but at least you're not burdened by making these monthly payments. And monthly payments can't be more than 10% of your disposable income. And of course, they want to cap it as a 20-year period, and they want to make sure that you are able to pay all of your living expenses before you even have to pay the student loan. And if you're not able to do that, of course, they need to do something about it, but they're trying not to make it too much of a burden. So that's the first point, the repayment plan. The second point is the student loan forgiveness. And that's the one where if you are having any type of predatory school, the ones that have you sign up and you pay and all that stuff. And then, of course, you may have gone through there. They may have even given you a diploma, but they closed down. They're out of business. They're no longer there, but you are stuck with this student loan debt that you have to pay back, right? So that's the student loan forgiveness. And then on the cancellation, guys, there's a lot of debt, again, that have already been canceled. Margie mentioned hers. So the student loan cancellation, again, if you have been victimized, President Biden have already canceled over probably about $40 billion in student loan debt, right? They have already canceled it. And then one of the things that they were saying that he can pass an executive order, which is great. So he can pass an executive order to cancel more of the student loan debt. And I'm going to tell you guys in a second how much they're planning on cancel, which is, again, very amazing. So, but I just want to make sure. And then the fourth point today is the tax deduction, guys. You can deduct your student loan interest up to $2,500 in credit you can get for that. There's a phase out on your income. If you're single, $80,000. If you're married, filing joint, single and head of household. If you're married, filing joint, it's $168,000. So that's the 4 point today, guys, on the Biden student loan relief. And then the main point here is that the repayment plan have been extended to the end of January of 2022. Because the freeze really was going to expire in October, and which means that you have to start paying back. So since everybody's still, coming out of COVID or still in COVID, they're trying to create, not create any additional hardship. Okay. All right. So that's what we're discussing today. And on the brighter note, part of what they're proposing, Democrats, Elizabeth Warren, and part of the other team, what they're proposing, and they're asking the president to make an executive order on, is to be able to forgive up to $50,000, per loan, right? Up to $50,000, guys, per person per loan. They're asking him to pass an executive order for anyone who makes less than $125,000. And for them to forgive up to $50,000 in loans per person. Now that's great. So we would love for that to happen. They said that he can pass an executive order. They're trying to get clearance in that. And if that happens, I know people is going to be excited, a lot of students. And then this also is going to go for people, the students, past students and current students. So you're not out of it as long as you have the student loan out there. And I'm sure that, there's so many people who are going to be so excited about getting rid of this burden because, back in the days, you can go ahead and get a student loan. You can either get a job, start a business, you pay that stuff back in, due time, and you're out of it. But because of the economy and everything that's happening today, it's not, people are not able to do that, right? So again, excellent news. If he can pass this executive order, $50,000 per student, that's an excellent thing. And if you make less than $125,000 per year, and I know that covers a whole lot of people as well, right? So that's it for the President Biden actually student loan relief program. Great news. In some fronts, a lot of loans have been forgiven already, and then a lot more of the new proposals that they're having out there that we hope to have passed, which is great and excellent news. So you guys hit like and share on this video, because I've gotten so many phone calls on this stuff. And don't forget to go to the website and fill out your application. Let's see, the U.S. Department of Education, apply at the student.art.org and get studentaid.org and fill out that application. Like I said, 24 pages, answers that you know, questions that you know, and fill that out and put it in. Everyone won't be qualified, but of course you can put your application in. There's also, if you've been denied any of this stuff, you know, you can always appeal it, right? You can always appeal it and then see if it goes through. But you want to make sure that you get it in there, right? So that's it today for the student loan, guys. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but all we want is for some of this stuff to go away, right? Because nobody knows how long it's going to take to pay the student loans back. So this is amazing news, and most of it is in works, and I think the rest of it they will pass it, because it's a lot of burden for a whole lot of students. With that said, guys, I thank you guys for jumping on here. Hit like and share on this video again. Make your comments in the comment below. I'll come back to you and get those. And if you guys have any further questions, you can hit us up at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, 323-290-9034, and or visit our website at PROBY'stax.com, guys. PROBY'stax.com for any of your tax and accounting needs. We're here to assist you with that as well. Okay, so with that said, I want you guys to have a fantastic rest of your Thursday and a wonderful weekend. Tune in again next Tuesday and next Thursday at 1 p.m. for some more updated information. All right. So with that said, guys, I would like for you guys to go ahead and take care of each other and take care of yourself. Thanks. Bye-bye.